Welcome to ConnectWise Manage Implementation Training. This is the service session. Hi, I'm Stephanie Bishop, a business consultant at ConnectWise, and I will be your guide for your implementation training. In this session, we will review the 5 best practice behaviors in ConnectWise Manage. We will also review business decisions to help you prepare for your service setup. We will talk about where to enter those decisions in Manage, and we will demonstrate how to use Manage for service throughout. After marketing, once you have customers, service begins. In the ConnectWise Manage lifecycle, service covers creating and working the service ticket, dispatching the ticket to your team members, and capturing time on that ticket to invoice for it. While there are dozens of good practices when using ConnectWise Manage, there are only 5 best practice behaviors that are critical to your success, and they all center around service. No matter how tickets get created, they reside on service boards. For example, if a request is emailed in, the email connector will create it as a ticket on the service board. When submitted through your customer portal, it will immediately populate as a ticket on a board. If your voicemail system can send an email, it can get converted to a ticket on a board. Your RMM integration, such as Automate, can send an alert to Manage to become a ticket on a board. Once the tickets are on a board, they gain visibility and are easy to find. This helps create the accountability loop. These best practice behaviors are the foundation for your success in ConnectWise Manage. Once you understand the best practices, you can learn to master ConnectWise software with support, education, consulting, and community, all adding up to your total business success. We start with best practice number 1. Everything is a ticket. Anything that requires action should become a service ticket in ConnectWise Manage. For example, a client incident, a portal request, a remote monitoring alert, a customer voicemail or email request, a client meeting, even internal meetings or requests. These should all be service tickets in ConnectWise Manage. A ticket helps create an accountability loop so you can ensure that the task has visibility and will get completed. Then you can track its progress to conclusion, which can make you more confident about billing. For companies that use Manage, everyone lives and breathes service tickets. Tasks are no longer a to-do list, recurring appointments to document in Outlook, or notes taped to your monitor. They are service tickets, recurring service tickets, and tasks that are attached to a service ticket. Demonstration. Everything is a ticket in action. Everything is a ticket in ConnectWise Manage. No matter how the request for service comes into the system, it should become a service ticket in ConnectWise Manage. I open this ticket and see the accountability loop. Updates on progress will be sent to these people, so I ensure that the task has visibility. I keep track of the service I perform through tasks, activities, and notes in the service ticket. Best practice number 2, all roads lead to Rome, or a service board. Tickets live on a service board, which is the bucket that holds them all. You can have different boards to differentiate types of business operations. For example, a service desk board for customer issues, sales board for sales inquiries, projects board for development tasks, and admin board for internal and administrative duties. No matter how tickets get created, they appear on a service board. This gives them visibility and are easy to find, which creates the accountability loop. Demonstration. All roads lead to Rome in action. The service board is the center of ticket action. Each role has access to specific boards to differentiate types of business operations. When I go to Setup Tables and look at all the boards, I see that we have an admin board for internal and administrative duties, a help desk board for customer issues, and a sales board for sales inquiries. I see that we need a projects board for development tasks. Best practice number 3 is paint tomorrow green. Every team member should be booked and busy for tomorrow using the dispatch portal or My Calendar. Members see exactly what they will be working on as soon as they look at their calendar, either at work or from the mobile app. Using the dispatch portal with a dispatcher can ensure your billable resources are fully scheduled and all tickets get worked every day. Demonstration. Paint tomorrow green in action. My calendar is busy and billable each day. Sometimes the dispatcher puts tickets on my day, and sometimes I self-dispatch to turn my day from red to yellow to green as I add to my workload. I look at my calendar first thing every day, either from my work screen or from the mobile app, so I can plan my time accordingly and hit the ground running. Best practice number 4. My life is my calendar. With all work scheduled, your team members can work directly from their calendar and manage. They can respond to tickets, enter time on the tickets, and easily email and call clients, all by working from the My Calendar screen. Demonstration. My life is my calendar in action. I work directly from my ConnectWise Manage calendar. I respond to tickets and easily email and call clients, all by working from the My Calendar screen. I keep all my daily activities up to date, which helps when I enter time. Best practice number 5. All time, all the time, on time. All members enter their time for all their events every day and at the time of the occurrence. Every time they work a ticket, they enter time on that ticket as the service is performed. This makes the time entry and the notes more accurate and helps document the service properly. Entering time verifies what was done and that information is used to invoice customers. Demonstration. All time, all the time, on time, in action. I enter my time for all my events every day, and as soon as I'm done with the service. This makes my time entry and my notes more accurate and helps document the service properly so that my finance team can feel confident about billing for my work. Let's review the 5 best practices for ConnectWise Manage. Everything is a ticket means anything that is actionable is a ticket. All roads lead to Rome means manage your open ticket volume on a service board. Paint tomorrow green means plan and schedule all tickets and all work. My life is my calendar means all employees work tickets right from their calendar. And all time, all the time, on time means everyone enters time throughout the day as they work through the tickets. In our documentation in the ConnectWise Manage area, find more information about these under Important Stuff to Know. Now let's review business decisions to help you prepare for your service setup. Because everything is a ticket, specific information is required when creating a ticket. Each ticket requires statuses so we can follow its progress. Each ticket requires a team to show who is managing the service. Each ticket requires a summary and one short, descriptive statement that helps us identify the ticket issue. And each ticket requires a company and contact to know who the service is for and who is paying for it. Let's look at each in more detail. Statuses reflect the progress of the ticket toward completion for a specific board. It's a good idea to think through the life of that board's typical ticket to know what statuses to create. For example, new for a brand new ticket, scheduled for responding to the request, in progress for creating a plan to fix the issue. Statuses can also measure your target timeline for responding to a ticket known as SLA or Service Level Agreement. If the timeline is out of your control while you are waiting for a client's response, the SLA time clock can pause during this status. Closed means we have resolved the issue, while canceled indicates it's no longer an issue. Ticket statuses can reflect where the ticket originated. Because statuses are unique to each service board, you can have different versions of new statuses based on the board. Ticket statuses can also reflect who will respond. You can create assigned or unassigned statuses based on the service tiers available for escalation. Here's a tip. Set a status with just a line or bar. This is a visual cue that the status cannot go back once the ticket has progressed beyond it. To set up statuses from your service board setup table, list each status in order with an escalation status description. Here's another tip. You can create or import email templates for notifying stakeholders when you change the status. For extra automation, set a workflow rule to automatically change the status whenever the stakeholder responds. Here's another tip. In addition to ticket status, you can also set company status in the company finance screen. For example, use it to indicate if a new customer has been financially approved for service. In addition to statuses, tickets need teams. Teams are your members who will respond to various types of tickets based on the service board you have set up. A green team could be technicians who are good at fixing issues and closing tickets quickly. This is the team to fully utilize by painting tomorrow green in their calendar. A service desk team might represent those working a help desk or an inbound chat queue. An on-site team might represent your field service technicians who travel to client locations. And a billing team could represent your finance resources on a collections board. To set up a service team in your service board setup table, go to the Teams tab. You'll need a team description and a team leader. Click the leader to add members. You have the option to choose a default team. Because a ticket and manage cannot get created unless there is a team attached, selecting a default team will populate the ticket, even when that ticket is created by an automated process. You can also choose if you want the team leader to get notified when a ticket is deleted. Because deleting tickets is not considered a good practice, it is helpful for the leader to know when it does happen. In addition to teams, tickets need a summary or short caption about the issue. Broken computer, for example, is not as descriptive as computer won't turn on. Tickets need a company and contact which exists and manage. The company is the entity that we bill for the services, while the contact is the user we are working with to resolve the issue. Ensure the company status is active and approved. If you use the email connector to create tickets and it cannot find a match to an exact contact record or company domain, it will create the ticket using the default company that you set up, such as Catchall. You can also check the box so the contact receives ticket notes by email. Now that we have reviewed the requirements for tickets, let's look at examples of service boards you may want to create. In the Foundation and Course Setup session, we discussed how to set up a service board by associating one location and one department per board. Your service boards represent your primary operational business processes. While you may have a variety of service boards, you will not need a board for every listing in your entire service portfolio. One service board can take care of many different types of client requests. For example, you might only have 2 boards for non-billable activities, an admin board for a variety of internal duties such as invoice creation, meetings, and training. While a sales board could capture external duties such as purchase requests from existing customers and inquiries from new prospects. You could also have 2 boards for billable activities, service desk for ad hoc customer requests, and professional services to track planned projects. And if you monitor devices, you might have an RMM alerts board for the continual noise of alerts, while managed services would cover those alerts that escalate to warnings when action is needed. As you may recall, boards are like high-level business operations and processes. This help desk board is related to one location and one department. This will always be a one-to-one relationship. If you want a board to cover the same department in another location, create another board. As we now know, all roads lead to Rome, or all tickets go through a service board. There are many ways the ticket can be created. Your team members who have a login to manage can access the system and create a ticket manually. Your clients can create a ticket in your portal. Automate or other RMM can create an alert and manage. The email connector can create a ticket from an email. Workflow rules and service templates can create tickets automatically based on certain conditions. The service board is one central place for all team members to see the tickets, and that's why the service board is where the tickets live. You can also track how the tickets are coming in. A source field under additional details of the ticket will allow you to track if it's coming from a call, chat, email, an internal source such as a service template or workflow rule, or your customer portal. When you are in the business to solve service problems for clients, you likely won't have available resources immediately every time a ticket comes in. That's when triaging is important. For example, 4 tickets require help, each with its own unique issue. In what order do you handle them? First come, first served? What if the third one is a department-wide outage? Should it wait for the less critical issues? This is triaging, and it requires planning. Here are 9 steps for triaging to get tickets ready for scheduling. 1. Start with the oldest new ticket. ConnectWise Manage defaults the sort order for tickets on the board and in the dispatch portal so that all tickets in a new status will appear at the top. Look at the age of tickets. The age, shown in days, allows you to see which one is the oldest new ticket. 2. Review the SLA and agreement fields. If you have a policy that states that an agreement needs to be on every ticket, this is where you can ensure that the agreement is set on the ticket. 3. If you store device configuration, for example, laptop information, you can attach it to the ticket, ensuring that the technician has all the available information at hand right from that ticket. 4. Read notes to determine the issue. Then, 5. Select from the priorities that you have added in the setup tables. You can customize colors and descriptions as needed. 6. Update the summary to be descriptive and match the issue. If your customer submitted an email with the subject line as, "I need help," that creates a summary which is not very descriptive. Once you read the notes or email, you can update the summary. Then update the service type, subtype, and item accordingly. 7. Determine which team is the best fit for the issue. Update as needed from the team dropdown. Although we could schedule a resource here, we will see a more comprehensive way to do it in the dispatch portal. 8. In the dispatch portal, review the calendar and assign a resource to the ticket by dragging and dropping it right into their calendar. You can see other members too, in case your first choice is already booked. 9. Now that the ticket has been scheduled, change the status from new to scheduled or some other in progress or assigned status. You might choose to create a workflow rule to automate the status update. Under the Service Desk module, the Dispatch Portal screen is where we saw how to view and schedule multiple members at one time. This is where the dispatcher will drag and drop a ticket onto an available spot on the member's calendar. Similar to the Dispatch Portal, the My Calendar screen is where members can schedule and organize their own day. A border appears around the current day when looking at a weekly view. The red bar indicates the current time. You can choose to view the calendar only, or with your activities, or where you are a resource here. Like the Dispatch Portal, you can self-schedule by dragging items to the calendar. Our goal is to paint tomorrow green. You can choose what percentage of the day will paint it green, or yellow, or red in the Schedule Colors setup table. A common example shows red if a member is scheduled for 49% or less of their daily scheduled capacity. When they get up to 74% scheduled, it turns yellow, and up to 120% scheduled, it turns green. Some partners double book members up to 200% or more, which typically appears in blue. Demonstration: using the Dispatch Portal in action. Under Service Desk, I open the Dispatch Portal. As the dispatcher, painting tomorrow green means to fill every person's schedule to stay busy and utilized. Here I have options for how to view the data. I can see tickets on this service board and schedule service tickets. At the top, I can choose which team will show. When I change the view to show all team members, I see an expanded list of resources. If I have tickets needing a certain skill or certification, I show only those members who have that certification. I view the green team. This is the team I want to utilize first and schedule their time fully. The easiest way to assign a ticket is to click it, drag it, and drop it into the schedule. I choose to send Andy a status request so he receives an email saying that he has been assigned to the ticket. I also can enter a note in the email. As Andy Bell's calendar gets scheduled, the color for the day will change from red to yellow to green. I still need to schedule the members who are red or yellow. I want to paint tomorrow green, and currently only Andy is scheduled to his capacity. There is a place to park tickets. For example, if I have an urgent ticket for Andy and he is already filled up with schedule records, I can move one of his tickets to the unassigned resource, leaving a space on his schedule for this urgent issue. This ticket can remain unassigned so it stays visible, but I will assign the record to another resource right away. Demonstration: using the My Calendar screen in action. As the tech, I work from the My Calendar screen. I see the time that has been scheduled. However, I can change the view to see both my calendar and my activities and tickets where I am a resource. I look at the Service tab to see all the tickets where I am a resource. The Following tab shows me tickets where I may not be a resource, but I am following to check updates. To self-dispatch, I simply drag and drop the ticket or activity just like the dispatcher does. I also see tickets in the To-Do section that have not yet been given a start or end time. I drag and drop those on my calendar as well to paint tomorrow green. I go forward to next week or back to a previous week. I can show a daily view, weekly view, the next 7 days, which shows the current day plus the next 7, and the monthly view, which shows at a glance what my entire month looks like. I return to my weekly view and return to today with one click. I see the current date is outlined and the red bar shows me the current time. I work each ticket in the order that they've been scheduled, and I enter my time as I work the ticket by right-clicking to open the ticket. I see the summary, the board, the company. I can look at all the discussion, internal, and resolution notes. I click the All tab to see a listing of all notes in one view. I have completed the service, so I click the clock icon to enter my time. The ConnectWise time entry window pops up noting that it is a time entry. The Charge To will automatically populate with the company, the ticket number, the name of the ticket, the current date, and any agreement on the ticket. I enter my time and can select a standard note from a list created in the setup table for work that I do repeatedly. I can also add additional notes as needed. I can change my work type if needed, depending on when and where the work was performed. When I save and close, my time entry notes are logged into the ticket. I update the status of the ticket to completed because the service desk will review before closing. I click Save and Close on the ticket and return to my calendar screen. As you heard in the demo, a good practice is to have a 2-stage close process. That means that the tech who works the ticket is not the person who closes the ticket. Instead, the tech puts the ticket in a completed status. Then, a customer service resource contacts the client to verify the issue is resolved before moving it to a closed status. This helps prevent tickets from having to be reopened. Remember, Paint Tomorrow Green is all about scheduling to capacity to ensure members are fully utilized. The more tickets you assign, the better your chances are of getting billable time into the system. More utilization can mean more profits for you. Also, by having a triage process in place, we can prevent tickets from getting missed or delayed. It also reduces the issue of cherry picking where techs pick the easy, quick tickets instead of the important or urgent ones. In the Dispatch portal, change the views to a service or project dispatch board. You can also choose which teams and members you want to see to schedule. Here, a view is created based on their skills and certifications. Remember, My Life is My Calendar means we start and end our workday from the My Calendar screen. You can access it from the desktop client, the web, or a mobile device. It is a good practice to schedule the most urgent and complex tickets in the morning. Then, work from one item to the next in the My Calendar screen. Enter time for each ticket as it is being worked so the notes are still fresh. Which leads us to our final best practice. All time, all the time, on time. We enter time for both billable and non-billable items throughout the day and for both tickets and activities immediately after each event. Now that we know the best practices of service, let's look at the Service Desk module. The first 4 screens represent the order of the best practices. We create a new ticket, ensure it's tied to a service board, schedule the ticket in the dispatch portal, work the ticket from my calendar screen, and enter the time every time we work a ticket. Because the ticket is essential to ConnectWise Manage, let's look at options to create new tickets. Directly from the Service Desk module, click New Service Ticket. From the service board or any service tab, click the Quick Add Plus sign. From the My Calendar or Dispatch portal screens, click the Quick Add Plus sign dropdown. From a configuration, click the Create Ticket button and the configuration's information automatically populates in the ticket. Options to create tickets in action. Because creating new tickets is so important to my business, there are several options to create a new ticket. If a client has called in, I can open the company screen, search for that specific company, go to the Service tab, and create a ticket by clicking the New Item Plus sign. The company information auto-populates. I can update the contact if needed. Since I know the contact, I can create a new ticket right from the contact screen. If you forget anything that's required, ConnectWise will remind you. If the issue is about a specific device, a good way to create the ticket is from the configuration screen. Once I locate the device configuration, I click the button to create the ticket with a summary listing the device, the company, and the contact for the configuration already attached to the ticket. From the service board screen, a fast way to create a ticket is the Quick Add button. The steps to create a ticket in action. In the Service Desk module, I right-click on the new service ticket screen to open it in a new tab. On the summary line, I enter a short descriptive purpose of the ticket. A company is required and a contact can be added or changed as needed. The initial description is a short narrative of the issue and the expected resolution. Once the required fields are entered, I can save the new ticket. To find it again quickly, I will either follow it or assign it to myself, then save and close. The service board is our queue of open tickets. You can see virtually every field from the tickets here. You can save filtered views, and you can manage the open ticket list with a variety of useful tools, including special columns. You can identify the special column by the triangle or dog ear icon in the corner. In Resources, right-click on an item for options to ping a resource, to send a status request, or add the resource as the ticket owner. In the Ticket Number column, right-click on the entry, and that ticket will open in a new tab so you don't have to disrupt your service board. On the Priority column, right-click the entry to see all the options to change the priority of the ticket. For example, a ticket comes in with the summary, "Server is down." We can upgrade it to a Priority 1 without opening the ticket. On the Total Hours column, right-click to create a new time entry. For example, when the dispatcher is triaging the ticket. We can also update the ticket status without opening the ticket. For example, if I have a ticket that was put in scheduled status yesterday, but now there is time on it, I can update it to in progress by right-clicking to quickly and easily set the new status. SLA status column is a little different. There is no dog ear to remind you. Simply left-click to see what the target response times are on the SLA flyout. View All on the Service Board List screen provides options to choose which tickets to see on which boards. The location, the department, and the service board all have drop-downs for filtering. Choose to see all tickets or only tickets within a specific department or location. For the most specific view, select a service board. The List View configuration allows us to customize the settings on our board view. In the top right section, this gear opens the List View configuration. You can choose how many rows per page you want to see on the board. Do you want this list to refresh automatically? If so, how often? When you first open the screen and when you return to the screen? Do you want to hide columns that you rarely use? Save to customize the list for your specific needs. Demonstration. Service Board Management in action. From the Service Desk module, I navigate to the Service Board. This is a view of all my open tickets. The default view shows tickets on the Help Desk board. I can change the view to include all tickets on all boards within all departments and all locations if needed. This is where I see the special columns with the dog-eared corner. When I right-click, I have a special function. This one allows me to open the ticket in a new tab so I can review a ticket without disrupting my service board view. On the priority column, I right-click and update the priority as needed without opening the ticket. I can update the status of the ticket. I can update the hours by creating a new time entry. If there are resources, I can ping a resource and send them a status request or designate that resource as the ticket owner. I can also customize the list by clicking here. This will automatically refresh the screen every 5 minutes or longer. I like to set it for longer and then set the screen to load when I first open the screen so it automatically refreshes to show all the open tickets. This box is checked to refresh the list whenever I return. For example, if I access another tab, then return to this service board view, I will always see the most current tickets. I choose to make some of the columns hidden and make some columns visible. For example, I want to see the agreement column, so I move that to visible. Now I reorder the columns, click Save, and see the updates. SLA status is a helpful column because I am tracking service level agreements and service level targets. This will tell me when the ticket needs to be responded to in order to meet the response target. I click on the SLA status to see the breakdown of each target times. I scroll further to find other fields on the ticket. Here's the configuration, which shows that there's one configuration item on this ticket. I click on that number, and the lower half of the screen shows the configuration details. Click the back arrow to return to the ticket queue and all the open tickets. Mass Action is another useful tool on your service board view. First, select several tickets to make an update to them all in one step. Click the Actions dropdown to see options including Delete Ticket, Move to another board, Update Service Team, and Follow. You can even select all the tickets by checking the box on the top left. But please note, when you select all, it is not just for the screen you are looking at, but all screens. ConnectWise Manage is a storage location for your day-to-day business details. That is why we recommend that you archive closed tickets and do not delete them. However, if you have a reason to delete, here are some dangers to be aware of. Once the ticket is gone, it cannot be brought back. The audit trail is also deleted. Fortunately, you cannot delete a ticket that already has a time entry, a product, or an expense on it. If you truly want to delete a ticket, you will have to delete those items before you can delete the ticket. For safety, there is an option to establish security levels to prevent accidentally deleting a ticket. We cover more on security in the Foundation and Setup session. Now let's see how to create a new service board. Start in System, Setup Tables. Under the Service category, we see the Service Board table. Click it to open the list of service boards. You will be installed with a Help Desk board. You can import more boards from the ConnectWise Marketplace. To create a new board, click the New Item plus sign. Give the board a name, a location or division, and a department. In order to save the new service board, you must enter a sign-off template based on the tech or customer who is to sign off on the service. You don't have to use it, but the system will require that you list one to save the board. You can create a template in the Service Sign-Off Setup table. An important section on the service board setup is the Time Entry and Closed-Loop Automatic Email Options section. This is where you choose which parts of the ticket are designated as time entries. For example, you may want an update to the discussion section and the resolution section of the ticket to be available as time entries, but not the internal notes section. Leave that box unchecked and it will remain as a notes field without entering time. Under the Automatic Email Options section in the Sent From, is where to enter your email connector address, such as support@yourcompany.com. That is the address your client will see when you use closed loop and you update the ticket and email the notes from the ticket. When the recipient replies, the email connector will thread the reply back into the original ticket. Who will it come back to? You choose the board email address, the display name, which could be the name of the board, or check the box to use the member listed on the ticket as the display name. You can default the Send To option as well. Check to automatically email the contact and/or the resource every time the ticket gets updated. This default can be overwritten on an individual ticket as needed. Ticket additions and notification options allow you to choose a default sort order for updates on tickets. Do you want to see discussion, internal notes, or resolution, or all with oldest first? Or would you like to see the most recent addition at the top? In the Workflow Notification Override area, pick a specific recipient for a status notification. For example, notify the dispatcher when a new ticket is created on the portal and notify the service manager for follow-up when a ticket is closed. The notification recipients that are set here will override other role-based options that are defined on the My Company screen. When a client updates a ticket through the portal or email connector, you can get copied on that update. This area designates what role will be notified. This area allows you to determine if you want the email connector to reopen a closed ticket. For example, the ticket is moved to a closed status and sends the client an email notifying them. If your client replies to that email, do you want that reply to reopen the ticket? If you check to allow it, you can then choose to reopen assigned resources so the original members get added back to the ticket. When the email doesn't match, instead of opening the original ticket, you can choose to create a new ticket. You can limit this by choosing Never Reopen a Ticket Created or Closed more than a certain number of days old. On the Member Page Details tab in the Service Default section, you can set a default board for each member. That way, when a member manually creates a new ticket, the default board will automatically populate, saving time. You can also choose to restrict the member to only see certain boards within the default location or department. You don't have to set up service boards from scratch. Navigate to the Marketplace on the System module in the Partner Exchange. Here you can find project and service boards to import. They import directly into your setup tables along with statuses, types, subtypes, and items that you can modify as desired. Thank you for joining us today on the service session. For more information, please visit connectwise.com/university or contact your implementation consultant. We will see you next time for the time and invoicing session.